Welcome back. And the next hack I'm going to do for you is called, it's about overcoming buyers' objections. And what we're going to do is I'm going to have you watch another video I've already done on this. And it's about 4 minutes long, and then I'll see you on the other side because I have a couple more pieces for you to add on. What I'd like to do with this piece is talk about buyers' objections, overcoming buyers' objections, and things like rebuttals. And in the traditional sales arena paradigm, the old ways people see it, I mean, even some of the most successful salespeople still kind of work with this language. I find it to be not the most supportive way to see things is if you need to overcome objections. And let's just talk about that for a second. If someone is objecting to what you're telling them or presenting to them, like your approach is not probably the most effective. I don't really ever have people object to the things I'm presenting them, like as far as an enrollment conversation, sales, like these types of things, because my come from is to take care of people. So with the come from of taking care of people, doing what's in their best interest, like this type of thing, and taking the focus off the actual money, which is where it kind of gets gross in sales, is people start to focus on money, and that's where it gets pushy and slippery and So my come from is to take care of people, help, always be professional, you know, and none of these ways that I approach a sales process has ever really produces objections that I ever have to overcome. So to have to overcome objections, the approach is off. And that means it's ineffective, because let's talk about that a little further. Where else do you hear the word objection? Objection, court of law. You have opposing counsel, opposition, you're creating tension, resistance, fighting. Why would you want to do that when you're trying to make money? And why would you not want to help people and do your best and do what's in their best interest and just, you know, help them facilitate a process? I mean, they're on the phone with you, they're talking to you, they're in front of you because they're truly interested in what you have to offer. And if you're just facilitating the process with no energy and you're just like, how can I help? All the way through, you're just helpful, no matter what, whether they want to get off the phone, help them get off the phone. I'm not talking about supporting them through what's stopping them from buying. That's different, like budget. But if you handle, truth of the matter is they don't really have objections. They have concerns, count on my fingers. They have concerns, they have questions, and they have maybe complaints, but complaints are really requests. They just don't know how to ask for it. So if you can hear the requests through the complaints, those are easier to work with than objections. So if you handle all that in a very calm and professional way, really objections don't even come up. So overcoming objections, old way, ineffective, not going to get you. I mean, you're just creating a situation where you need to overcome something. It doesn't really even make sense to me. So objections, not very effective or useful in a conversation where you're trying to help somebody, right? So let's get out of that. Let's not even do that anymore. The other thing is this. There are these things called rebuttals. And rebuttals, I don't even know the definition, I'm not going to look it up, but I've worked at a number of companies, I've seen a number of people, how they talk about them. And rebuttals are a response or a reaction to basically objections, things that you can say to counteract. Like if you're selling a product and the person's like, I got to talk to my wife, and they say, and then you try to get in the middle of that, it's like gross. So really, if you have to do like a rebuttal, the problem is that you haven't actually earned the trust, and they don't feel safe enough for them to make a decision. If you handle trust and safety, and how do you do that? You're just yourself, your same old loving self. If you do all that, then you just end up in negotiation. And that's different than like rebuttals and objections. And negotiation is just, what can you manage? What can you afford? Let me help you with that. Okay, and that is overcoming objections and rebuttals. As you can see, the language is just ineffective at this point. So we just want to get out of that and get into something more useful. Handle their concerns, handle their questions, their complaints, be helpful, be professional. And there is one thing I want to add to the video you just watched. And I was talking about if you handle trust and safety, then you get into the negotiation. really trust and safety to me comes before trust. So those are kind of the same thing. The other part is, so let's call it trust and understanding. If they understand everything and all their questions and concerns are met and they trust you, you can move into negotiation. Okay? I wanted to add that in because that's really important. Understanding everything is really, really important for a buyer. If they don't understand, they will be scared to make a decision. So it's up to you to create that for them with your being, who you're being for them. And that's the authority on your product, knowing everything there is to know about it so that you're confident and it comes through your answers. Okay, so that's that. Now I've got a bonus video for you. It's actually, it's on the word value. And I'm gonna do another video. It's gonna come right after this one. And it's specifically on the word value. And I'm gonna give you that. I was not planning on doing this, however, someone I do business consulting with and someone I do individual mentoring with, they found a lot of value in this, and it was very transformative as far as how they were seeing things, and it allowed them to figure out what action you need to take. So I'm gonna do that for you right now. Okay, and this is the value bonus video I promised you, and I'm gonna just, before I do this, I just wanna talk to you about something I've been developing, and it's really the background work for the things that I'm sharing with you. I have, over the last few years, been developing a new type of technology called belief recognition. And basically, to keep it really simple, it's looking at not only the way words are spelled, but how they're built, the sounds of them, how they relate to other words, and then how they actually structure the subconscious narratives, both internal and the words that we use, the language that you use, that shape our belief system. And start moving words around or repurposing them because I'm finding meanings and things. And I'm going to give you an example of one right here. And the focus of this one is actually value. But what I'm going to do, because up here you have price, cost, value, money, and currency. A lot of people have these as all the same. Really, they're not. And I'm going to show you how. And I'm also going to give you an example of the belief recognition. You're experiencing some of it with the videos, but really this is just the surface of what I'm doing. It's very effective in sales, relationship, mentoring, business. It's kind of like a universal tool. And I want to share it with you because I have a lot more to share with you. The sales part, I want to give you all that I have, but I have so much more that I want to just give away. And it's actually about this technology called belief recognition. No mention of it anywhere on the internet. I found it, came up with it. I've been working on it for a while, so let's do this. So I want to go from left to right here, and we're going to talk about each word really, really quick. So when we look at these words, the first one's price. Basically, this really means nothing. The price, like you can walk into a Best Buy, and there's price tags all over the place. But if you don't pick up the thing or apply money to it, it means nothing. Price is just, it's the first thing you see. That's all it is. Cost? Well, this is a real interesting word because typically, cost is associated with a negative connotation. That was very costly. That cost us a lot of money. It was like a mistake kind of thing. And listen to this. I was accosted. It's costly. It sounds very similar. It's a bad thing, typically. Now, it doesn't have to be used like that, but there's usually like a negative energy around the word cost. So, I mean, that's cost. Value, this one is really, really interesting because in the word value, you can hear the word you, or universe, or you. So also, if you look up, and you can go look this up yourself. Some of this stuff is right underneath the surface of everything. And I mean, besides the definition, you just kind of look at the meanings of things. The prefix VAL actually means worth, strength, and health. And this is really important, worth, because when we talk about when you're selling something, The value comes from you. You infuse your own worth into the product and create value for the buyer. It's not money. It's not anything like that. So this is actually, there's a definition for value. You can use that too. But when we break down the word, you have the word you can hear it in there, value, and then you have val, which means worth, strength, and health. Now that you see that, if I go and say I have something valuable for you, and we look at that word, valuable, I am now able to contribute a part of my worth through value and give it to you. It's a different way to use the word. So that's what I'm doing. It's repurposing language, finding more effective uses for it, and kind of opening it up to see what else is available. It's part of the technology. Keep going. This is like, all this is money. It's a physical construct. They have it and you want it. That's all. Currency, this is a little different. If you look at it, it's very close to the word current. Now you have currents in electricity, you have currents in the ocean. It's a flow, it's an energy. I have a degree in electronics, as I kind of explained in the chapter. But current has to do with energy and flow. And what's really great about this is before and after the sale. Long before and long after. Are you managing the currency of the relationship, the energy of the relationship? Are you getting the money, and is the currency dying off after you get the money in your pocket? I know a lot of salespeople, they're just trying to get the sale. And then once they get the sale, they don't care. It's new age. We're in a new paradigm, new consciousness. You must manage this in order to have the rest. Now, my question to you is, and this is where we're going to end it, which ones are you focusing on? Are you focusing on this, and this? Is that effective? What if you focus on doing this and also doing this, managing this and providing this? If you do those, this is going to happen naturally. And that's a little example of what I'm calling belief recognition. There's a lot more that I've discovered. This is just a small piece of it, but I have found that to be really effective in just quickly shifting a mindset of somebody that didn't know what to do with their customer. As to give you an example, one of my people that I mentor, she's new to the sales process and she's going out on her own being an entrepreneur. And she did something for somebody like a service, and that person that she did the service for, after she got the money, wasn't satisfied and wanted more. And she came to me and she's like, what do I do? He's asking for more service and he is not offering any more money. I said, hold, and this was over the phone, by the way. I said, let me do this. It's called a distinction, by the way. It's distinct. I said, let me do this distinction for you over the phone. And I laid this out over the phone. When I got to here, she's like, I got it. I know what to do. I'm going to handle it. Boom. So I wanted to share this with you. This is a bonus video. This is the focus of it, is the word value. Because you are so important. You are what makes the process go. Bringing your worth to the equation is what actually has the people buy something.